Hello students, let us continue chapter 6 Life Processes. Yesterday we have discussed the introductory part of autotrophic nutrition. Let us continue this topic with the process of photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? The organisms that possesses chlorophyll, utilize some solar energy, consume some solar energy, including that water and carbon dioxide, and synthesis their own food. That means they make their own food in the form of glucose. Glucose, a simple form of carbohydrates, and this making of food by a particular substance is known as the process of photosynthesis. The photosynthetic organisms are simply our green plants and some photosynthetic bacteria. Let us discuss the process of photosynthesis in green plants. Actually, what happens? Green plants consume carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and water from the soil with the help of roots. Along with that, with the help of chlorophyll and sunlight, green plants prepare their food. The process is known as photosynthesis. Finally, we are observing in this equation with the help of 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O, that means carbon dioxide and water, plus with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, green plants preparing their food, that is C6H12O6 in the form of glucose. Along with that, 6O2, that is oxygen, and 6H2O, that is water, is also released as a byproduct. This is the actual process of photosynthesis. But let us now see what actually happens during the process of photosynthesis. The following events occur during this process. The very first, absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll are green pigments present inside the leaf. Whenever we observe the cross section of a leaf under the microscope, we'll find small green spots known as chloroplast. These chloroplasts contain the chlorophyll inside it. This is the green pigment. The second function of this photosynthesis process, conversion of light energy to chemical energy. This is very important. And splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. And the third one is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. So actually, in case of photosynthesis, these three processes happen. These steps need not take place one after the other immediately. For example, desert plants take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day. Let us discuss the role of stomata in plants. So students, the word stomata we have already heard in small classes, but it was introductory only. So let us discuss this stomata, its structure and their functions in detail. So if we observe the diagram, the structure of stomata, it's like each stoma is a small pore and surrounded by two kidney-shaped guard cells. And the guard cells have few chloroplasts in their cytoplasm. We know that chloroplast, the green spot, contains chlorophyll, green pigment. Now, let us discuss the functions of stomata. The very first function, massive amounts of gaseous exchange take place in leaves through stomata for the purpose of photosynthesis. Second one, large amount of water can also be lost through stomatal pores in the process of transpiration. Transpiration is an important process of plants in which plants release excessive water with the help of stomata. Now, function of guard cells. The opening and closing of the stomatal pore is a function of guard cells. The guard cells swell when water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open. The pore closes if the guard cells shrink. Generally, plant closes stomatal pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis process or in condition of water stress. Let us have an activity to demonstrate that chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. Take a potted plant of money plant or croton plant with broader leaves. Keep the potted plant in complete darkness for 2 to 3 days. After 3 days, expose the plant to bright sunlight for about 6 hours. Pluck one such leaf of this plant which is green in certain parts and white in other remaining parts. Mark the green areas in it and trace them on a paper sheet. Boil this plucked leaf in a beaker full of alcohol and kept in boiling water bath for some time till it becomes colorless. Wash and clean this colorless leaf with water and dip it for few minutes in dilute iodine solution. Observe the color of the leaf and compare this with tracing of the leaf done in beginning. Let us discuss what we have observed in this activity. When the plant is kept in the dark for 2 to 3 days, all the starch gets used up. Then in the next step, when the leaf is kept in boiling alcohol, it gets decolorized. And the color of the alcohol solution is green when leaf is taken out from it. Why we have used iodine solution here? It is used to know the presence of starch. So after all, we conclude that the presence of starch is detected with the iodine solution in only such areas where chlorophyll present. This activity explains the chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis and surplus glucose stored in the form of starch. Let us discuss another activity to demonstrate that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Take 2 potted plants, place them in dark for 3 days. This will destarch them. After 3 days, place each of the pot on a smooth glass plate. Label one pot as A and other as B. Keep a small watch glass or petri dish containing pellets of potassium hydroxide, that is KOH, on the glass plate near pot A. Cover both the potted plants under 2 separate glass bell jars as shown in the figure. Apply a thick coat of Vaseline on the bottom of the bell jar close to the glass plate in order to make both the jars airtight. Now expose both these plants to sunlight for about 2 to 3 hours. Thereafter, pluck one leaf each from the plants A and B and examine these leaves. Examine these leaves separately for presence of starch. Now let us discuss what we have observed. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by KOH from the air in the bell jar in pot A. Now, which potted plant shows the presence of starch in its leaf? Definitely B potted plant shows the presence of starch in its leaf. Now, starch is not formed in the leaf of the plant kept under the bell jar with KOH kept along with it because KOH absorbs carbon dioxide from the air. So CO2 is not available for the photosynthesis and thus starch is not formed. Now, the potted plant B showed normal photosynthesis in presence of CO2. This shows that CO2 is necessary for the photosynthesis process that we have discussed already. Now, to prevent the increase of CO2 gas in the atmosphere, the conservation of plant organisms are important, definitely. So, this is our complete observation regarding the experiment. Okay, students, I hope you understood this topic. Now, in next video, we will discuss about heterotrophic nutrition, nutrition in amoeba, and including that nutrition in human beings. Thank you for listening.